Hello, and welcome to engNatural. Learn English naturally. I'm so glad you could join me today. Have you ever started something new with a huge burst of excitement? A new project, a new fitness goal, maybe a new hobby. You feel unstoppable for the first few days, or maybe even a few weeks. But then, something happens. The excitement fades. It gets difficult, and suddenly finding the motivation to continue feels like a huge challenge. We've all been there. Today, we're going to talk about the one thing that can keep you going when things get tough. It's not about willpower or discipline, not really. It's about something much deeper. We're talking about your why. Your why is your greatest motivator. And before we dive in, if you enjoy these conversations and want to improve your listening skills, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. Also, I've created a special free PDF lesson for today's topic. It includes the full transcript, a vocabulary list, and key sentence structures we discuss. You can find the link to download it right there in the description below. It's a great tool to help you review. So, let's get into it. What is this powerful why, and how can you find it? To start, let's be clear about what we mean when we say your why. It's a popular phrase, but what does it really stand for? Your why is not the same as your goal. A goal is the what. For example, I want to save $5,000. That's a what. It's a target. I want to run a half marathon. That's another what. Your why is the reason behind the what. It's the deep, personal, often emotional reason you want to achieve that goal. It's the purpose that fuels your actions. Let's take the goal of saving money. The what is $5,000, but the why could be anything. Maybe your why is freedom. You want to save that money so you can quit a job you dislike and have the freedom to find something you love. Or maybe your why is security. You want to know that if an emergency happens, you and your family are safe. Perhaps the why is generosity. You're saving that money to help your parents or to take your family on a vacation they'll never forget. Do you feel the difference? A goal, the what, is a destination on a map. But the why is the fuel in your car. Without it, you're not going anywhere, especially when the road gets bumpy. I learned this lesson the hard way a few years ago. I decided I wanted to get in shape. That was my goal, the what. So I joined a gym. For the first 2 weeks, I was so motivated. I went every single day. I felt great. But then a busy week hit at work. I missed one day, then another. I was tired. It was raining outside. My bed was comfortable. My motivation just disappeared. Why? Because my what, get in shape, was too vague. It had no emotional power. It wasn't connected to anything meaningful for me. So I stopped. I sat down and really thought about it. Why did I want to get in shape? It wasn't about looking a certain way. After some honest reflection, I found my real why. My why was energy. I realized I was tired all the time, and it was affecting my ability to be present with my friends and family. My why was to have the energy to enjoy the people I loved. My why was also about longevity. I wanted to be healthy and active for many, many years to come. Suddenly, the goal was no longer go to the gym. The goal was cultivate energy and long-term health. The next time I felt tired or wanted to skip a workout, I didn't think about the gym. I thought about having enough energy to play with my niece. I thought about being able to go on long hikes with my friends in 10 years. That's my why. And let me tell you, that is a much, much more powerful motivator than just, I should go to the gym. It transformed everything. It made the decision easy because it was connected to something I deeply cared about. That's the power we're talking about. It reframes the entire challenge. It's not a chore anymore. It's a step towards something you truly desire. So, we know the why is our fuel, but it's also something else. It's our shield. It protects us when we face the inevitable challenges, setbacks, and even failures. Every significant journey has difficult moments. The moments where you doubt yourself. The moments where you think, this is too hard. I can't do this. I should just quit. In those moments, your why is what you hold on to. It's the reminder of the bigger picture. When your short-term motivation is gone, your long-term purpose takes over. I have a bit of a funny story about this. A few years ago, I got really into the idea of baking my own bread. I saw all these beautiful pictures online of perfect homemade sourdough loaves. I thought, I can do that. My what was bake delicious bread. What was my why? To be honest, I think my why was to post a cool picture on social media. It wasn't a very deep or meaningful purpose. So, I bought all the special flour, the special equipment. I started my sourdough starter. It was a disaster. It was messy, it smelled weird. My first loaf of bread was as hard as a rock. I could have used it as a doorstop. I tried again. Another failure. After about a week of frustration and a very messy kitchen, I quit. I just gave up. Why? Because my why was weak. It wasn't strong enough to carry me through the difficulty of learning a new skill. The moment it stopped being fun and easy, I was done. The reward, a nice photo, was not worth the effort. Now, let's contrast that with another experience, learning to play the guitar. This was something I had wanted to do since I was a teenager. My what was learn to play my favorite songs on the guitar. But my why was much deeper. My father used to play the guitar, and it was one of my favorite memories of him. My why was to connect with that memory, to feel close to him. My why was also about personal expression. I wanted a way to express my creativity that wasn't connected to my work. Learning guitar was hard. Much harder than I expected. My fingers hurt, the chords sounded terrible, I felt clumsy and slow. There were hundreds of moments where I wanted to put the guitar in its case and never open it again, just like with the bread. But here's the difference. Every time I felt like quitting, I didn't think about my sore fingers. I thought about my dad. I thought about the feeling of finally being able to play a song that meant something to me. I held on to my why. That why acted as a shield. It protected me from my own frustration. It protected me from the desire to quit. It reminded me that the short-term pain was worth the long-term fulfillment. And eventually, slowly, I started to get better. My fingers stopped hurting as much. The chords started to sound like music. And the day I could finally play one of my dad's favorite songs, phew, that feeling was incredible. It was a feeling my weak bread-baking why could never have produced. That's the protective power of a strong purpose. It makes you resilient. Okay, so we're convinced. Having a strong why is essential. It's our fuel and our shield. But that leads to the big question, how do you find it? Your why isn't usually something that just appears to you in a dream. It often requires some active searching and self-reflection. It's a process of digging deeper. So let's talk about some practical strategies you can use to uncover your own why. The first, and maybe the most famous technique, is called the 5 whys. It's a simple but incredibly powerful method. You start with your surface-level goal, your what, and you ask why 5 times to get to the root of it. Let's do an example. Let's say your goal is, I want to get a promotion at work. Okay. 1. Why do you want a promotion? Because I want to earn more money. Okay, a common answer. But let's dig deeper. 2. Why do you want to earn more money? So I can buy a bigger house. Interesting, we're getting somewhere. 3. Why do you want to buy a bigger house? Because I want my kids to each have their own room and a backyard to play in. Now we're getting to the emotion. 4. Why do you want your kids to have their own room and a backyard? Because I grew up in a small apartment and I always wished for more space. I want to give them a childhood with a sense of freedom and security. Wow, okay, one more. 5. Why is it so important for you to give them that sense of freedom and security? Because my family is the most important thing in the world to me, and providing a happy, stable environment for them is my greatest purpose. Boom, there it is. We went from get a promotion to my purpose is to provide a happy, stable environment for my family. Which one do you think is more motivating on a difficult Tuesday morning at work? It's not about the promotion anymore. It's about your family. The 5 whys helps you peel back the layers to find the core. A second strategy is journaling. Don't just write about your day. Ask yourself some deep questions and write down whatever comes to mind, without judgment. Questions like, what activities make me forget about time? When do I feel most alive and energized? What problem in the world makes me feel angry or passionate? If I knew I could not fail, what would I do? What values are most important to me? Honesty, creativity, connection, security? By exploring these questions, you start to see patterns. You see what truly matters to you, beyond what society or other people expect. And here's a third, slightly more unusual tip I found very effective. Think about your frustrations. What makes you genuinely angry or impatient? Not just small annoyances, but deep frustrations. Is it inefficiency? Is it injustice? Is it wasted potential? Often, our greatest why is hidden inside our greatest frustration. Your purpose can be to fix the thing that you believe is broken. If you are frustrated by how difficult it is for people to find good information, maybe your why is to become a great teacher or communicator. If you're angered by waste, maybe your why is to create sustainable solutions. Your frustration can be a compass, pointing you toward your purpose. Finding your why is a discovery, not an invention. It's already inside you. You just need to ask the right questions and give yourself the quiet space to listen to the answers. Finding your why is a massive first step, but it's not the last step. A why is like a plant. You can't just plant the seed and walk away. You have to water it, you have to give it sunlight, you have to nurture it, or it will wither. So, how do we keep our why alive and at the front of our minds, especially when life gets busy and distracting? The first strategy is simple. Make it visible. Don't hide your why away in a journal that you never read. Put it somewhere you will see it every single day. Write it on a Post-it note and stick it on your bathroom mirror or your computer monitor. Make it the background image on your phone. Create a small vision board with pictures that represent your why. If your why is to save money for a family vacation, put a picture of your destination on your fridge. Every time you think about ordering expensive takeout, you'll see that picture. It's a constant, gentle reminder of what you're working towards. This visual cue connects your daily, small actions to your big, meaningful purpose. Another powerful technique is to schedule regular check-ins with yourself. Maybe every Sunday evening, you take just 10 minutes to sit quietly and reflect. Ask yourself, did my actions this week align with my why? Am I moving closer to my purpose, or have I gotten off track? This isn't about judging yourself, it's about course correcting. Life will always try to pull you in a million different directions. A weekly check-in is like looking at your compass to make sure you're still heading in the right direction. It helps you stay intentional instead of just reacting to whatever life throws at you. And sometimes, during these check-ins, you might realize something important. Your why has changed. And that's okay. The person you are today is not the person you were 5 years ago. Your priorities might shift. I once pursued a certain career path for years because I thought my why was achieving professional recognition and status. I worked incredibly hard, but I felt empty. After a lot of reflection, I had to be honest with myself. That wasn't my true why. My real why, the one that actually gave me energy, was helping people connect with their own creativity. Realizing this was scary. It meant I had to make a big change in my career. It meant admitting I had been on the wrong path. But it was also liberating. Forgiving yourself for chasing the wrong why is a crucial part of this process. It's not a failure, it's a discovery. By letting go of the old, unfulfilling why, I made space for a new one that was authentic and deeply motivating. So, make your why visible, check in with it regularly, and give yourself permission to evolve. Nurture your purpose, and it will, in turn, nurture you through all of life's challenges. So, that brings us to the end of our conversation today. We've talked about what a why is, that deep, emotional purpose behind your goals. We've seen how it acts as both the fuel to get you started and the shield to protect you when you want to quit. We've explored practical ways to find your why, like using the 5 whys or exploring your frustrations. And finally, we've discussed how to keep that why alive and visible in your daily life. The most powerful force a human being has is a sense of purpose. When you know why you are doing something, the how becomes much, much easier to figure out. It gives you clarity in a confusing world. It gives you resilience when you feel weak. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today on engNatural, Learn English Naturally. I hope this conversation has given you some food for thought. And I want to leave you with a question to reflect on. What is your why? You don't need a perfect, poetic answer right now, but just start the conversation with yourself. What truly drives you? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section if you feel comfortable. And don't forget, if you want to review today's key ideas and vocabulary, you can download the free PDF lesson for this episode. The link is right in the description. Finally, if you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps us reach more people and ensures you won't miss our next conversation. Until next time, take care and keep asking why.